Good morning, it's Dave at ATI Watch Reviews. Please hit that like button and please smash that subscribe button for more awesome watch content. Little wristwatch check. Got my Steel Dive SD 1953, a beautiful 41mm 300 meter fully solid stainless steel bracelet and clasp. Ceramic and sapphire diver, a great all-rounder. Super economical price as well. You can have it around 50 quid. Love this thing. But today's video is an interesting microbrand and watch from Saint. Now they are a British microbrand that do a mix of homage and original. This is, as you can probably see immediately, an homage. Now, do you know which watch this is paying homage to, paying tribute to? Because when I first saw this watch, I immediately knew the model that it's paying tribute to. And I really like that brand, and I really like that watch line that the luxury brand does, that this is paying tribute to, because it has a very distinctive dial. And you can see them horizontal markings. I just love it. I think it's great. Now, this is called the Racer. This is the watch. It's a 43mm by nominally 11.5mm thick. That's actually incorrect. I'll show you in a minute why it's incorrect. But it is 43mm, 200 meter water resist, ceramic insert, sapphire crystal, a flat sapphire crystal. The interesting patterned dial with in grey, in black, with the yellow accents on the 200 meter and on the seconds hand. Really gives a nice look there. Fully loomed with pip, with the Miyota 8215 42-hour power reserve workhorse powering the timekeeping function of the watch. So I would, with a, as I said, fully solid stainless steel bracelet, a clasp, 3 micro adjust push buttons, and safety catch. So it's a bit of a spec monster, and one of the reasons why I like this watch, other than it looking very similar to the watch, the luxury brand that it's based upon, I really like the size of this thing, and let's get straight into that. So the bezel diameter is 42.4, so just under 43mm. The overall diameter with 4 o'clock crown is 47.2. A lug-to-lug of under 50mm at 49.4. Male end-links, which give an end-link to end-link of 54.6. So quite a big end-link to end-link measurement there. And a thickness much bigger than their nominal of 12.7 when their website says it's only 11.5. So it is a lot thicker, but I'm going to explain in a minute why that doesn't really matter. So the sizing is on the bigger side. The 43 diameter, it is just less than a 43mm watch in my opinion. It's 42 and a bit. Don't let the size put you off about the 43, because the lugs are very tapered and curved. The case is not a big fat case. It has a lot of curvature to it. It fits really nice on the wrist. This fits similar to my Marine Star in terms of both the sizing and curvature of the case and the weight, basically. And let's get straight onto the weight now, actually. And as you can see, with all the links in, it's around 187 grams. So it's on the higher side, but it's not up to 200. So you can get away with this, in my opinion, as an all-day wear. So the sizing and weight is really good. It's got some really nice wrist presence, as you're going to see shortly. It's not too heavy. It is on the heavier side, but it's low enough to be comfortable as an all-day wear. The curvature to the case is very good, so it doesn't really feel like a 43. It feels more like probably a 42. It's probably perfect size to me because it fits similar to the Belova Marine Star that I really like. That's my daily driver essentially. It only fits as big as one of these, which is a 41mm watch, but because of the size of that case, they fit. This 43 doesn't really feel bigger. So you're going to want at least, in my opinion, 6.5 inch to pull it off, ideally 7, before it starts to look too big for your wrist. But that's subjective. You could always swap it out. I think the lugs are 22mm. You could always swap it out for a different type of band, like a rubber band or nylon or whatever, which would decrease the weight significantly if you weren't a bracelet type of person. So let's talk about the crystal and dial. The crystal is a flat sapphire crystal, and it is ever so slightly proud by a smidge of a millimetre of the bezel, as you can see there. It's not domed. They have, I think, put a little bit of anti-reflective coating on it, but only a little bit. I would have liked to see a little bit more. But one noticeable thing I've noticed of this crystal is that, although you can't really see it now, it is a dust magnet. For some reason, it's so easy to see dust on the watch. It seems to attract little hairs and stuff that I've noticed significantly, but right now there is absolutely nothing, I don't think, on the dial. And so the crystal's good. I'm glad it's not domed. They've kept it true to the homage, to the original, if you will. The dial is where it gets very interesting because it has this very pleasing horizontal engraved pattern, as you can see there. The yellow accents play really nicely with the kind of very dark grey or black dial. There is no doubt about it, the watch is a looker. You can get this in different colours. The branding of Saint and its kind of shield is appropriate. It's minimalistic, which is what I like. You've got the date window with no cyclops at the 4 o'clock. Again, I like that. It all seems appropriate and everything seems to be working nicely together. It's not too busy. The writing isn't too big. It's not too cluttered. They've done a very good job of this dial. I know that they don't really get design for it, if you will, but they have done a very, very good job of it. I really like this dial. There's, strangely, in my opinion, there isn't as many AliExpress or Chinese manufacturers that are trying to recreate the look of this watch that it's paying tribute to. I would have thought there'd have been more because it is a very popular watch. But Saint have done a very good attempt to recreate some of that luxury feel and look. The bezel is very easy to turn, almost too easy to turn for a diver. Although I'd really call it more of a sports watch. A little bit of back play, not excessive. The movement is fairly crisp, it's not too gritty, but it's not perfect. So the bezel could be improved slightly. It is a ceramic insert, so you're never going to scratch it. The crown at 4 o'clock is a screw down crown with some interesting curved crown guards. That's nice and smooth. The crown feels fine. The case is excellent. It's curved and sized for my wrist essentially perfectly. This is my kind of watch. Really like the curves on the lugs there. Moving to the case back, it's a plain, pretty plain, stainless steel laser engraved case with the Saint shield. Bit minimalistic, but no problem, that's fine. I would have preferred to have seen an exhibition window. Now, the bracelet is completely solid with solid end links, a 3-link design, but they have decided to polish the outer body of the links, and the inner body has a kind of coarse brushing. I'm not the biggest fan of the coarse brushing, in total honesty. I would have preferred it to be more smoother, but I do like the contrast, and I'm glad they've not just gone for a standard, you know, all brush design, which is a bit boring. They've gone for a little bit more blingy, a little bit more pizzazz, if you will. And it is a highly tapering bracelet, but because they've started at 22, it goes down to 18, but at least it's not 20 to 16, which I think can be excessive on this type of watch. So they have started at 22, or roughly 22, and gone down to 18 at the clasp. The clasp is nicely signed, and again it has a nice contrast with the polishing versus brushing. It's only a small clasp, thick swing arms with push buttons, only 3 micro adjusts, kept it pretty simple, but at least you get 3. The mechanism isn't perfect. The engagement there, no, that's not bad. It's pretty certain. The tolerances in this thing are not fantastic, but again, it's very comfortable, as you're going to see in a second. So the bracelet overall is pretty good, and the links are secured by pins. I've took a couple out, very easy to use. There's nothing crazy there, it's just a pin system, as you can see. Sometimes when they put screws on these watches, it just becomes messy because the screws can get busted, they put too much Loctite on it and all this other stuff. I prefer it on the more, you know, below 500 quid watches, unless they can come up with other designs. I know some AliExpress brands now are using a totally different pin system that doesn't require screwing, and it's really good. There's another YouTuber that's posted a video on it. I'm going to check them out shortly. But anyway, pins are fine. The bracelet is good, nice taper, very comfortable. The polishing and finishing overall is good, really. There's not a lot to complain about. They've gone for more like a mirrored finish almost on the outer body of the links, the outer link. Let's get it on my wrist. Wow, that is really nice. It fits really good on my wrist. I've got a 7¼ inch. That dial is just stunning. Some really nice sheen on that bracelet, going down to the Saint at the clasp. Nothing's digging in there. It's super comfortable. It has got weight to it, absolutely, but I would say it's not too much. Probably, possibly 10 to 20 grams lighter would have been better, but it's still very wearable. Now let's check the loom. And as you can see there, some really nice green loom. Very well applied, Hands maybe could do a little bit more, but that is not bad. Very good loom. On the indices and pip, hands need a little bit more, but by no means is that a bad effort. It's better than I thought it would be. So overall, where do I rate this thing? Well, strangely, there's very few homage brands, even micro brands, that are doing alternatives or you know, paying tribute to the luxury brand that this is. And I really like that line of watches from that luxury brand that this is based upon. This is one of the best homages that you can buy below 500 quid for that watch. I think they're trying to sell it, Saint are trying to sell it for around 250 to 200 quid basically, with sometimes with a deal of 150 quid. I think it is worth around the 200 quid mark for the total spec what you're getting, but I would probably get it in the blue. I think the blue looks better slightly than the black, but I wanted the black because I wanted to see the contrast with the yellow. I think it's a very, very good attempt at paying tribute to that watch. The dial alone is very nice. It all fits together well, you know, the 200 meter water resist, the 42 hour power reserve on the 8215. Obviously it is going to lose minutes per month, but we know that it's a cheaper homage, it's a cheaper mechanical movement. You're not going to get the quartz accuracy, but the specs in this thing, you know, the fully solid stainless steel bracelet, bezel, ceramic insert, sapphire crystal, that dial, the loom, all together what you're getting in it is, it's a good package. It's at least 7.5 to 8, I would say, for what they've done on this watch. I'm pretty happy with it. As I've said, the clasp could be improved by giving us more micro adjusts or putting some type of diver extension on there if they want to market it. I know they market it as more of a sports watch than a diver. So that's, you could argue it doesn't need a dive extension. But I would give us a rubber band alternative for people who don't like bracelets. I love bracelets, but for people who don't, we need a rubber band option. But overall, it's a good attempt. Hope you've liked this little revisiting review. It's been Dave. Cheers.